Hey guys, Crave here. So, well, we're at the end of the expansion, and I outlined in my other video, just the one about rogues and battlegrounds, uh, some of the different stuff you can do while you're at this phase of the expansion. Now, one of those things is actually just dressing up your different characters. If you're into that, just making it, I don't know, look cool or look so much better. Maybe farming old content for the pieces you need, etc. Stuff like that. And yeah, it's been fun, sort of finding different Mog pieces for my rogue. And this video is going to be about that. Now, most Mog pieces are easy to get, but sometimes there are some of those, there's really tough ones to get. And some, actually, when you go through Wowhead, you'll find that some pieces are no longer obtainable. But here are the 5 Mog options that I like best on my current rogue. Now, I'll just identify the pieces that I do have in my stash, or whatever is available to me at the moment. So if you're looking for a recolored options of other similar items, just plug in the name in Wowhead and you'll normally get a bunch of items that can replace the stuff that I have, or maybe some close recolors. Now also, you'll notice that I won't include capes as I hide it in all my characters. I was never really a fan of that option on characters. Wrist options are also not included, as those pieces are normally hidden by your gloves, or sometimes I won't even include chest pieces, mainly because they're hidden by your tabard. It depends on whether it shows off in the upper portion of the character's arms. Anyway, here are the top 5 Mogs that I think looks best on my rogue. Okay, for the first set, I call this the Red Orgrimmar fan theme, mainly because, well, of the color itself and the tabard it's using. This is basically one of my more recent sets. What inspired me to go for this color was the Orgrimmar Spalder cosmetic item that you can get from your war mill. Now, I thought I'd go with the red theme and ended up with what you're seeing right now. Basically, I eventually got rid of the Spalders, as it does when you're wearing the Orgrimmar Spalders. It looks pretty much something like a combat rogue would wear. But as you've seen in my, I think, the last 2 videos, I basically an assassination rogue. Now it looks really good given the shades are not 100% consistent. If you compare it with a reddish mount like the Red Skeletal Horse or the Saberstalker's Bristling Boar, I think that would be a great match. The Dagger Mog, in my opinion, is one of the best in-game, and they go quite cheap on the auction house right now. Black and red theme. Now this theme is actually just trying to look more like a ninja with a hint of red in certain parts of the set. Now if you've seen my assassination PvE guide, this is basically, or at least the thumbnail or the video for it, it's basically what I'm wearing in that video. Now honestly, the pants ruin it a bit with that mild yellow stripe, but it still looks pretty good. With the exception of the next set, I normally go with shoes that have basically a slimmer look to keep in line with the stealthiness expected from the class. I think I've seen a number of rogues wearing the similar Mog, especially the shoulder and head pieces, so I can pretty much understand why. The shoulder and head pieces are the only ones that might take time to obtain, as they require rep with a certain faction. Now you can see the red theme. You can see from the red theme earlier, I'm a fan of the Duskblade Mog. Next up is the Righteous Leather set, and I think this is the one that this is the set that's least roguish, at least in appearance. So, and I was really gunning for a different set, a different grayish set, but the shoulder piece I was looking for is basically no longer available in the game, and most of the pieces can be bought off the auction house, and they're pretty much just green items, so they're not really that expensive. I had an entirely different tabard in mind when coming up with this Mog, but I happened upon this one while buying one of the honor mounts from the Frostwolves. I think that's somewhere in Alterac Valley. And the Dagger Mog can be taken from the auction house, or you can also opt for the basically the same dagger from the Frostwolves. Okay, 4th set is the Bone Chewer set, and yeah, this is the current set I'm using, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's I've always liked the original clothing theme from the starting zone of the Blood Elves, so the Bone Chewer set is pretty close. But I decided to basically go for a different shoulder option, as the intended matching ones look a bit off with that red gold lining thing that it has going on there. So I opted to mog the wrist. I mean, I mentioned earlier that I didn't want to mention the wrist options for mogs, as it's often hidden by your gloves. But in this case, I'm mentioning the wrist armor or the bracer, as they show up to help sort of match the colors of what's in the Bone Chewer set, of the pants part of the Bone Chewer set. So the dagger look is the only piece that cannot be obtained from the auction house, and well, it's basically taken out from Shatcraft. And finally, the dark theme set with big shoulders. So basically, I just call it dark big shoulder set, and that's mainly because of the big shoulders, the big shoulder armor it has. Some might think that the blue tabard is a bit off, but I don't know. To me, I saw it as as basically a good fit for this set. There's nothing really special to it. It's just I like the look of the shoulders and the way it fits into the whole dark theme and everything. Again, the blue tabard might be a bit off, but it sort of fits for me. And that's pretty much it for this short video on me just showing you guys the different mog sets I use with my rogue. Now, I noticed that some of the pieces are actually faction specific, so to get around that, just make sure to use Wowhead, plug in the item in in that database, and just make sure to search for lookalikes or similar types of items. And it's also possible that you can get creative and find a whole different theme based on just using some of the pieces I just showed you. So anyway, well, we are at the end of the expansion, so maybe mogging is something you can do. There's not much, but yeah, maybe it's one thing you can do. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.